What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back on F1 23 for our 2024 season. It is round 17 now. We are in Japan, Suzuka, one of my favourite tracks on the F1 calendar, and we had an absolute banging race last episode. It was in Singapore if you didn't see it, and from P22 on the
Our
grid.
running costs are significantly less than the income we're pulling in.
Okay.
I suggest we start looking for opportunities to spend that profit margin.
If you did see that, we nearly got a podium, and that is something we've trying to be doing this whole season. We haven't done a win since Belgium, and we are trying to get there. We haven't had many wins this season. We had some in Miami, some in Imola, and we had one in Spain, but we haven't had a lot recently. I don't know why that is. I just don't think the car is that strong this year, or it might be maybe that we made such a good charge last season. As you can see, we were ahead of the whole grid for the majority of the season, and we are not even ahead by a little bit this season because everybody has got that upgrades that you have. So as you can see, that pretty much nearly all the upgrades are done. So there's that. But as we go into that,
we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process.
we are
We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
We are one of the quickest cars on the grid. If you did see as well, the notorious George Russell did not finish, and Lewis Hamilton scored a single point that entire race. So the Aston Martin of Lando Norris and us climbed the table significantly, and Sainz got a good Charles Leclerc, got a good P2, and then it was Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. The Red Bull has not done very well this season at all, but who knows? Jenson Button, if you didn't see, got his first official win in the McCoy team just 5 races in. He's built different. But it's a commentary video today, and I'll see you guys in qualifying. Let's go. Right then, guys, we're in qualifying for the Suzuka Grand Prix, and let's just say this. If the free practice show something, we're on for P1. But it is looking quite overcast in the qualifying session. I've got something to talk about while we are in the Grand Prix. I think it's a good topic to talk about for a couple of laps or so. Which should be interesting, because I always like giving my opinion on stuff, as it's not a commentary thing until there's action. I feel a little bit shaky-ish, getting too much curve on the exit there. We've always done that throughout the free practice sections, getting it quicker and quicker through that corner. Someone's just going to end up doing it flat out. As we come to the hairpin, the familiar hairpins at F1, I love hairpins personally in F1 circuits. Monaco here, anywhere that does a hairpin, you've got my heart. And yes, the one at Belgium counts as well. Making it nice and easy for it, because I don't want to take too much curb. Missed the apex by 1.5 miles. Still on for P2. Heading into 130R, purple, flat out, heading to the chicanes, and going a little bit deep, but I think we'll be okay. And as we bomb it to the line, do the usual right the F1 drivers do, and that's pole. Pole. But how much so?
And with qualifying complete,
not bad.
Let's review our top three today.
Whoa!
Button and Lando Norris. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Right then, the team has got its first 1-2 of a team, with me in P1 and then Jenson Button in P2, and then it's the Aston Martin of Lando Norris, then Charles Leclerc, and then George Russell, the championship leader, which he needs to start putting his game A game on, otherwise he's actually going to lose the championship by a couple of points. Then it's the Bottas it's the McLaren of Bottas. There we go. 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton in 7th. Coincidental. Carlos Sainz in 8th. Max Verstappen in P9. Oscar Piastri in P10. Sergio Perez in 11th. 12th is Pierre Gasly. 13th is Stroll. 14th is Ocon. 15th is Albon. 16th is Ricciardo. 17th is Magnussen. 18th is Zhou. 19th is Yuki. 20th is Pourchaire. 21 is Hulkenberg. And 22 is Logan Sargent. I'm excited for this race. Maybe a 1-2. We couldn't do it in Singapore, which we should have done. Who knows? Japanese Grand Prix. Who knows? But let's see them.
We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula One season. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles. It's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 circuit. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Adams lines up on pole position and Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Russell, Bottas, Hamilton, Sainz, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Gasly, Button, Stroll, Ocon, Albon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Zhou, Tsunoda, Teo Pourchaire, Hulkenberg, and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And with me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Adams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
I shall take the compliment. Please be. Okay, we are going to change the tyre compound around. We're going to go for a medium hard due to the performance I've seen with the tyre and how quickly it's going to run out. But as you saw in the commentary, on the beginning commentary with the grid, Jenson Button is not in P2 anymore. So our 1-2 for qualifying has been shambled and he's down in P12. But hopefully we can do something today that is against the odds.
This circuit is one of the favourites amongst the drivers, and I'm sure each and every one of them is looking forward to the race ahead. All of them hoping they can leave Suzuka on a high note.
But it does look like everybody is on the hard compound tyres apart from myself. Medium hard, I think, push all the way through, and that's how you're going to win a race in Formula 1. Or as he's just said, we could have got a hold of it wrong. Who knows? Who knows in this race? I completely forgot at the start of this career mode, we actually took Daniel Ricciardo's number because I never thought it would be in the seat. But I think he's got some random number. Apologies, Ricciardo fans. I wanted to do it in his honour because Nick De Vries was actually in this game with his seat and he didn't come in until late. But as Logan Sargent lines up the grid, we go to 5 red lights and we go to 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And we go racing in Suzuka. It's a great reaction time from me, and Lando Norris had a very bad time there. And we have slipped away from majority of the grid, but we've ran over the curbs and we've locked the rear. But Lando Norris keeps his lead. Great reaction time from both the Mercedes. Hamilton benefiting a lot. He was actually quite far down the order, if you remember, from qualifying results. Tyres are still quite cold. Oh, we've got contact with Lando. Contact with Lando. We're all skirtish all over the place. But that's not going to stop us as we dive bomb Carlos Sainz. It's a yellow flag in Sector 2. I don't think it's anything too cautious, but we are going to push. Try and get back at Lando. Tyres are freezing cold. We're slipping everywhere. I don't even need to look at the graph. 107 degrees apparently. We are slipping everywhere like we did last year. Slipping everywhere. 130 flat out as Lewis is going to try and make the move on Lando Norris. I don't like them. Like Max Verstappen said in Miami, I just didn't like it. I'm going to take out the Bayards there. But we have managed to actually gain good time on the rival team of Mercedes, and look how close Lewis is to the back of Lando Norris, taking every corner with full hard push, turning very early, turning very late, not getting too much curb. And we do get too much curb as we run over the strip. And Leclerc and Russell just go slip through. Oh, and that is painful. Absolutely painful. We dive bombed the Ferrari. Oh, you idiot. We're going to try and get past him regardless anyway. And it's going to be another one of them things where we box. And oh, Russell is going side by side. The championship leader going side by side into 130R. Into 130R he goes. He's backed out of it. Box this lap.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Sometimes it disappears and you'll get a penalty. But we are so screwed. Let's hope the pit crew can do their job.
Okay,
let's go.
Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted.
Not a bad stop, but we are going to have to
look after these tyres now and want to finish the race on this compound.
absolutely hope there's no red flag. Hope to the Formula One gods there's no red flag. Because if there's a red flag, we are gonna have to... We will be obviously able to keep it on these hard tyres.
Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more.
But we will obviously have the tyre wear.
This lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But in last video, I accidentally made a mistake at the end. Coming out of it to the main menu, I accidentally clicked on a rivalry. I thought I was recording it, obviously not. So our new rival is the man from Mexico, Checo Perez, which is the guy I wanted to speak to you guys about. If you haven't seen the news recently, about 15 minutes ago, F1 put a post on that Sergio Perez will sign for Red Bull until the end of 2026. That is very surprising. Checo has been putting in the effort. I know he's got some poor qualifying.
Okay, gap ahead is 18.5 seconds.
I know he's had a bad qualifying exit in Monaco when he fortunately got to P18 and then had both Haas drivers behind him, and then K-Mag decided to dive bomb and destroy the track. I've got nothing against Kevin Magnussen. I think he's a brilliant driver, but it's just a funny joke. But that means that Carlos Sainz is obviously leaving Ferrari because of Lewis Hamilton coming into Ferrari means he can't go to Red Bull. Obviously, he was at the sister team of Toro Rosso with Max, so he can't line up there. He could go to Mercedes. Apparently, he's rejected the deal off Audi, which is actually stake at the moment, which will become Audi in 2026, which I think is a bit stupid because Audi has said that they will produce a world championship winning car, and that is a bit hard to go off the fact that they haven't even got a car on the grid and how stake is doing at the moment. That is quite a hard judgment to do. Rumour that he's going to sign for Haas, he could sign for Williams. He could sign for anybody at this point. He could sign for what's it called? Oh, come on, engineer quiet.
Please repeat, you're breaking up.
He could sign for Aston Martin, as Stroll still needs to do a deal. Alpine has recently just sacked Esteban Ocon at the end of 2024. Rumours going around that it was because of the Monaco incident, but I don't think it's going to be that. Both drivers have not got faith in the team at the moment due to how slow their car is, but they have made some progress. Ocon scoring their points, which is a good sign for them, but I think they really need to show a turnaround. Unfortunately, nothing can be done now because there's the seat open, but Pierre Gasly is still in the team at this moment in time. He could leave. There's also big rumours going around in the paddock that Daniel Ricciardo could leave the RB team and go to, not Red Bull, Haas. Daniel Ricciardo really wanted to end his career in a Red Bull, but maybe, if he can stay around for a couple more years, I say, until 2026, or he might retire at the new regulations. I don't want to see Daniel Ricciardo go, but if it just leads to Daniel Ricciardo unfortunately retiring from Formula 1, he will end his season, rumouredly, if he does go to Haas. But if he stays and he does perform very well with maybe Ollie Behrman, that would be a lineup I'd love to see, Ollie Behrman and Daniel Ricciardo. Christian Horner could say, oh, this is the Daniel we'll remember. He's doing unbelievable in a car that is shocking. Let's get him in after 2026, because I think Checo will retire at 2026. Unless he goes to another team, because these drivers like Lewis, Fernando and Checo included, I've been around for ages. So have Max. But who knows? F1 is an weird world. Anything could happen. We've never had anybody switch team this year, so everything's the exact same. So who knows at the end of the day? F1 could be surprised. You might see a couple of rookies. Kimi Antonelli is meant to go to Mercedes, but I don't think that should happen. I think there's a lot of things that he should go to Williams first and then build a year, but if you chuck him straight into a Mercedes, he is going to do exceptionally well. Because hear me out, if you put him straight into Williams, he's going to have to get used to the Williams car, and then if you want to put him in before the regulation changes, new environment again. It's like going from first school to middle school, or primary school to secondary school. It's so weird in that comparison. It's all new, or it's like secondary school going to college. It's completely.
Our gap to the car in front is 8.9 seconds.
Completely different scenarios going on, but we've still got a lot to go for. The F125 calendar has been released, and I'm not a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of all the races that are going on, but it is getting a lot. 24 races again in a single season. That is it just really shows how good these drivers are with how mentally prepared they are for each weekend. 24 weeks, that is 6 months of racing. 24 races, if you do one every week, that is 6 months, week after week after week after week. That is a lot of racing in half a year. That's half a year of racing, but you're only doing it obviously every week. Obviously, I know that's not how the F1 calendar works. I know they normally have Easter off, they have summer, so it kind of lines out, but it's a lot of races compared to when we used to have 20 races. But apparently there's meant to be a lot more coming, a lot more street circuits. Madrid is on the calendar to replace Barcelona, which I do not look good about Madrid. I think Madrid is going to be a horrible circuit because I like Barcelona. I think Barcelona is a beautiful track. Obviously where Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton came together and got Max's first win. It's where we've won quite often on this game. I love the circuit, how it's adapted, changed. You can now go quick into the final corner. It used to be quite slower. I love how much it's changed and still one of a good circuit. But that's my view.
Push, use your overtake button, let's go.
I don't know if anybody's seen, but there is a leaked video out that Saudi Arabia's new track, and it looks amazing. Amazing. And I've just looked at the bottom of the screen. Mercedes and now got a 1-2, which is perfect. That's what I love to see. That's what I log on for. But I think it's the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton in front, which is better. But we've waffled for quite a bit. Put my view out on F1. But F1 24 is a whole different story. And I am thinking of doing a season 3 because that game is just unreliable at the moment. I do like the look of the new diamond handling because Max Verstappen has had input on it, and I know they want to be a little bit more realistic each year with how they interact with the drivers, but it's so inconsistent. I watch a lot of F1 24 career modes because they're very fun to watch, and there's so much issues. Like on this, it can automatically tell if there's a wet race, so it puts you on wets. It puts you on dries, which is not correct. Oh no, it's George Russell in first. A little bit of contact with Hulkenberg, but I don't think he's going to mind. As he just try and show us the door, but we're like, no, not today, mate.
And that's P9, 9th place, well done.
I do think we are going to get P1 here.
Jensen is in the pits, Jensen in the pits.
No, let's not mess it up now. But that is a beautiful push. Only if Hamilton's engineers could tell him to push. But I'd love to see that guy in green. Okay, I can't speak today. I'd love to see that guy in red. I mean, if I was in Formula 1, I would love to race for Ferrari. It'd be one of my dreams to race for Ferrari. And get a championship as well. Like, I'd love to see Fernando Alonso win another race before he retires, but that Aston Martin is not pushing. But obviously they've got that new wind tunnel coming in. So who knows at the end of the day. They could be cooking all sorts in that wind tunnel. Hamilton going quite slow on the final chicane there. Might have got a bad exit. Now we just need to keep a 7-time world champion in our back pocket and then let him go on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Gonna go defensive. Coming to approach 130 yard. Hamilton gaining. He's not going to put a move on 140 yard. No, he's not. 30 yard, not 40 yard. The only bad thing is with me being slow, George Russell is like, hello, my time now. Oh, we closed the gap. Perfect timing there. Hamilton tries to round the outside, little bit of contact made. We're all going for exactly the same thing here, a win. And I think one of the most beautiful countries in the world. I like to go to Tokyo just to see a blossom tree. Sounds weird, but blossom tree was something I'd love to see. And Tokyo City as well. Tokyo is a beautiful city. And the history behind Japan as well. There's a lot of cities I'd love to visit. I'd love to visit everywhere, but we can't visit everywhere. 8 seconds to George. Oh, calm down there, Lewis, jeez. Where's Jensen? I think Jensen's in P6. Teammate status.
Didn't receive that. Repeat the message.
What?
Repeat the message.
Teammate status.
Repeat that. I've got some interference
That was...
here.
Teammate status.
Okay, the static
Oh.
over the radio.
It-
Say it again.
Teammate status.
Say that again. We're having trouble receiving you.
Rival status.
They're in 11th. Okay, so the gap is 20.3 seconds.
Okay, he's in
They're on
fifth.
fresh mediums. Your last
Wait,
lap
he's fighting
was
for fifth. Come on, Jensen.
32.1.
We're the best team by miles, come on. And I'm going to be fighting with Lewis Hamilton like I did with Valtteri Bottas. Like I did in Belgium with my mullet man Bottas. He made a good switch to McLaren. I think that's which paid off, but that grass touch did not pay off. Geez, majority of energy. We were on a topic of F124, but obviously that's gone out the window because this is such a good Grand Prix. I don't even know if my mic's on, it's hiding. As Lewis is going to try and send it down into 130, I'm not going to cover him off or back out. Tyres are not destroyed. So we are just going to look into our mirrors. We made him go to the middle because then he has to decide, and then I can cover him off quite quickly on his decision. It's quite a good strategy. I saw a couple of drivers do it in this year's Grand Prix, and Jenson Button looks like he's made 5th place work. He's only he's only a second and 1.4 seconds behind Bottas. Full race update.
You're leading the pack, that's P1. That's Hamilton behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Your pit window's now open. Pit window is open. Okay, just 5 laps until the end.
I'm glad we didn't start on the hards, eh? I need to stop this, you know. I need to stop being too aggressive. We've been way too aggressive, and then we complain like why we're not finishing high points because we're too aggressive. We're gonna make incidents occur and accidents happen. I'm not saying being aggressive and you've got a championship to pretty much fight for, but need to slow down a little bit as he's a little bit more far away this time. A little bit of overstep. Oh, a little drift for the boys. And Hamilton has just come out and just hit me. And that is a send. We are not giving up on this championship all this win just yet. That was beautiful. Oh, I thought I was done then. I literally sat back in my seat and hoped for the best on that move. He's not having me like that. He's not going to then hit me and then expect him to win. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. As we approach 130, you can see George Russell in the background. You can see him. He is very close for us. He's 3 seconds away. Full race update. Full race update.
You're in first position, front of the pack. Hamilton's behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Your pit window is open. Pit window currently open. Gap to your teammate behind is 8.3 seconds.
I think we've got 2 laps left, and Jenson Button has passed Bottas. Another great result from Jenson then. P22 to P4 is perfect.
And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
We might have gone to the right to the back of the grid, but we are still got loads of fuel left. We've got a lot, even put a lot more in. How are the tyres doing? The tyres are okay. As you can see, Russell is getting a lot more closer each lap. I think Russell is going to be honest with Lewis for the final lap of the race at this race. And we get an astonishing exit yet again. He does have the DRS, so he is going to close up. And we have found pace in the S's. And if we can get Hamilton to finish P2, yes, I know it's going to be big points for Mercedes, but Russell doesn't get the points. And we have gone out of DRS range. I think Hamilton is going to back off from us and defend from Russell, it looks like. Or maybe we've found the unbelievable... Oh no! There are mediums. So they're going to have so much more tyre wear than I do. But that chicane was horrible. As we approach the final lap of the Grand Prix.
Okay, you just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
The highs and lows since our last win in Belgium. In Belgium, this is not something like us. Netherlands was just a cruel race. Monza
Got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
is something else sometimes. Singapore was an absolutely amazing race. P22 to P4, some beautiful overtakes on Carlos Sainz and Valtteri Bottas, I have to add. But we've come to Japan. We have come to Japan. And we have set P1 in pre-practice 1, P1 in free practice 2, P1 in free practice 3, and we set P1 in qualifying, and the race was not easy to do. We had to pit because of a front wing collision with Russell, but we have coped absolutely brilliantly. Mercedes threw everything at him today. We win in Suzuka. Let's go.
Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
And that's what you call racing. Absolutely brilliant racing.
Sailing today, but it was a very important win nonetheless. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Adams.
Let's move on to the constructors. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
But looking at the points, we just took the maximum we could do. Now, maximum we could do as a team. Jensen, I'm not even putting anything to Jensen because Jensen has done absolutely everything. Lando from P2 to P11, that has just destroyed his chances at the moment. Jensen could do everything he can from P12 where Stroll is. Hamilton got more points, so that puts him 25 points from the championship. That puts me 40 points where the championship is. If we keep like this, I'm not saying much, but we are on for our last race championship decider. But the Constructors' Championship is where everything changes. Due to me getting 26 and Jensen getting 12, that puts us on 38. But with these two getting 33, yes, 33, yes. No, 1 second, let me grab my calculator. 15 plus 18. Yeah, 33. I know I was correct. We have slowly decreased the gap. Slowly. But there is enough chances, enough retirements, and out of the blue races to come. But the results today, we have me in P1, Lewis and George, that sat out the podium, and then it's Jensen Button, Bottas, Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Perez, Norris, Stroll, Albon, Gasly, Ocon, Ricciardo, Zhou, Magnussen, Yuki, Nico, Hulkenberg, Philip Horcher, and Logan Sargent. That championship is mine. I hope you enjoy the highlights. I know I probably will, but I'll see you guys in Qatar. I'll see you then.